Hi guys. Okay, here's chapter 47, Supper Call. I climbed the hill for home, legs ache. This has been a long Wednesday. Some good, some bad. Some I don't have figured out. Like what happened up here around the crumble down with Matt and Lance. One of them said it. Lost the pygmy. That's Calvin, of course. I smile about it. Wonder how he gave them the slip. I know he will tell me. I know where to find him. I can kind of feel his eye on me. I look over my shoulder, make sure the coast is clear. Nobody left in the drinker yard. I slip behind the tractor, reach into the brambles and pull the rope to open the door. I step in. I pull the door shut. Start talking into the dark. I say, Calvin, holy cow, how'd you get back here so fast? Calvin? Hey, Calvin! I stand still. The root cellar is way dark and silent. I reach back, push the door a crack for light, but it doesn't really help. I blink a few times. I look around again. Calvin is not here. My eyes adjust, enough so I can see the shape of the great aurochs on the pale wall. Strong and mighty. I say, have you seen him? It's a joke with no one to hear it. I stare at the beast and it happens again. Looks like he is moving. Can almost hear him breathing. A whispering kind of in and out. I think, what if that aurochs could run right off that wall? Out the door and into the orchard. My brain makes it up. Quick thought. Then it's gone. My stomach growls out loud in the quiet root cellar. Makes a noise like a groan or a moo. I'm as hungry as an aurochs. Makes me laugh. Bet Calvin got hungry too. Went on home for supper before dark. That's the rule. I think, darn, I want to hear how he made his getaway. The telling will have to wait for tomorrow. I pull the door shut. I make sure the bramble blanket covers it up right, the camouflage. I come up from the dip in the backyard thinking about Matt and his mom. Ugly scene that was. Makes me sorry for her, and I'm kind of sorry for Corey McSpirit too. I catch a whiff of myself. It's sour apples and armpits and something else too. I smell like the side of the drinker's house. Now that is something I never thought had much smell, but getting rammed into a place will make you notice. My elbow still aches. Good scrape on it too. Coming around to the front of the crumble down, there's another smell. Bacon and maple. Uncle Drum slides out of his truck. Sun is down. Wonder if he's just getting back from the diner. Drinking coffee right up till supper time. There's a long, long Wednesday for you. He waits for me on the porch. He says, hey Mason, you okay? You look like you need a fresh shirt. I say, yeah, well, that's pretty much always. Uncle Drum laughs, just a grunt. He says, where's Calvin today? I say, he was here, but he went home. I jab my thumb toward Jonigold Path. Uncle Drum says, sorry I missed him. I almost say it. If Uncle Drum wanted to see Calvin, maybe he should not have sat so long at the diner. But I don't say it. No point. Inside the crumble down, I smell Italian sausages, and it is so good. That is the kind of smell you want to end your day with. Juicy, salty. Shailene is putting napkins around the table in a slap-down sort of way. She's having a pout. Must be the denim show didn't work out so well. Must be she didn't get to order her new jacket. The distrust. I go on up, change my shirt. Bad thing is, it is my last clean one. Must be a dirty dozen ones on the floor. Must be a dozen dirty ones on the floor. My own fault. I have been too now and then about this. I gather them up and dump them down the chute. Smell of sausages comes up through. Grandma's going to see my shirts land in a basket there at the end of the kitchen. It will be up to her if I have clean ones for tomorrow. We sit down to eat, noodles and cheese with sausage on the side. All through supper, Shailene keeps looking at Uncle Drum, then making a droopy face. He won't look back. She eats her food, baby bites. Not me, I dig in. I do some real eating. Phone rings. We all stay put. Let the machine pick it up. It will be one of those calls nobody wants. Something recorded, like the cardholder services one from that lady named Rachel, or the guy called Kevin with a power washer, or the offer for a cheap price on a cruise, like any Buttles would get up and go on one of those. But it's not any of those. We hear Margie who works at the Chomsky house. She says hello. She might be a little mad or something. She says she's calling for Calvin or about Calvin. We listen. She talks like Calvin is not there. I don't get that. It happens that I stop still and look at Shailene while I am forking noodles into my mouth. She says, "Ew, Mason, that's gross, and dry off." She pushes the roll of paper towels at me. I miss some of Margie's call. Grandma gets up. She stands by the phone, brow wrinkled up. Margie is still talking. She says something about when the Chomsky parents get home. She says, "So I'd appreciate it if you give me a call back in the next few minutes. Please." The call ends. Grandma looks at me. She says, "Calvin went home, didn't he?" I nod yes. I have a cheek full of sausage. I try not to talk with my mouth full. Don't want to stir up Shailene. Grandma picks up the phone. She dials Margie back. She talks. Then she listens. We all wait. Grandma tucks the phone under her chin. She says, "Mason, where did you last see Calvin?" I think about it. I remember him going to the left and up, scrambling, his white hair, the backpack swinging. Grandma says, "Mason, where?" I say, it was a ways down the orchard. He was running up the hill to come here." Grandma looks at me, really at me. She says, "And when was that? Do you know what time?" I shake my head. I think this. The sun was low. The air was cool. She says, "But were you with him?" I say, "I was, but then not. I was going to meet him again, but some stuff happened. I was gone kind of long taking the dog back down to the drinkers, so Calvin went on home to supper." Grandma shakes her head at me, face full of worry. She says, "No, honey, he didn't. He's not there." I push back my chair, stand right up. I go out the door of the crumble down. Daylight is gone. Has been for a while now. I cross Swaggertown, head up Jonicle Path. I call for Calvin. No answer. I turn and look back toward the crumble down. See Uncle Drum come off the porch with the flashlight. He's moving at a trot, fast as I have seen him go anywhere in a long time. Looks like he will circle our place. I go on, up into the yards of all the new houses. I call Calvin's name again and again. Tell you what, every time I do not find him, I feel the world tip. Little more, little more. I'm almost to the Chomsky's place when a police car goes by me, Merrimack PD. I watch the cruiser turn into Calvin's driveway. The world goes upside down. Okay, so that's all for that chapter. Next chapter is chapter 48, The Search for Calvin Chomsky.